Hello and welcome to another LEGO Train MOC Showcase video. This is for a pair of engines. It's Bill Ben. And no, not the Flower Pots Men. I've heard that plenty of times already, thank you very much. Both of these models were built up at the same time and are identical. So we only need to look at one of them. So one question I still get asked fairly often is how I get the faces for my models. And I use Golden Bear push-along toys. It's a fairly easy process to remove the face. Just take off a couple of screws, pull out the face, flatten the back, use some double-sided tape, and we are good to go. Some toys are easier to take the face off compared to others, but all the same, it's just a perfect size and a perfect fit. These Thomas characters really do come to life with these faces, and it's the best thing I've been able to find for them. I built my model of Salty before I made Bill and Ben, so figuring out how to do the buffer beam became very easy. It's overall very similar with how the buffers are made. The buffer beam itself is brick built, and the magnet pokes out of the front through a couple of Technic bricks. It's a very interesting method to make this, and one I don't know if I'm going to use again in the future, depending on the locomotive and definitely depending on the character. The weird thing is, this magnet is more correct on this side, but the magnet on the back is just a bit too tall. Now this is as low as I can make it anyways, without having to interfere with some of the structural integrity of this model. It still functions, but it's a bit, not annoying, just a bit weird looking, especially if you're paying too much attention to where this is connected and how it's coupling up to the coaches that are behind it. Again, it's not ultimately a problem, it's just something I was a bit upset with. It is a very pleasant change of pace to build in yellow. I don't remember the last time I built in yellow. I've got Stevenson's rocket and I do have the coaches for Stevenson's rocket, but I don't know how long it's been since I've made them. And to make Bill and Ben, of course, was a lot of fun in of itself, but using yellow bricks, again, it's just something different, and I absolutely adore that. And now it's time to talk about the cab. This was without a doubt the most difficult part of this model, and technically isn't accurate. Just to get this out of the way now, that brown bit on the bottom half is supposed to be as thick or as thin, however you want to depict it, as the window on the top, which is depicted with black bricks. However, that could not work because of the proportions of this model, but ultimately it's not immersion breaking. So you may also notice that this cab, like Salty's, is also built sideways. Now this is something I knew I was going to do anyways, but the problem I have here, this is 7 studs long. So if you were to put this up normal ways, it's 7 studs in length, then put onto its side so it can look like this. And that's where things got tricky. I can't show you what it looks like on the inside because it is a bit of a mess, and besides, I'll be breaking the models anyway. But it was so odd and frustrating in a way, and it ultimately led to a complete rebuild of the cab to figure out how to attach the roof onto the cab, because that extra stud, because it's now an odd number, you need to use like a half-thick tile to get it to fit on, and it was such a very complicated process, something that will take me forever to explain here. But yeah, the cab got rebuilt, and it's now a much better cab design than to what it was previously. The final installments of these two models were getting the printed nameplates. Now this was accomplished by a store called Way Too Many Bricks, and I will leave a link to that store in the description. I was also to get some printed nameplates for Donald and Douglas, and if you want to see them, you will have to follow me on my Instagram page to see them. All of these nameplates came out very well, as simple as they are, but I am so happy with how these look. It just brings the characters out a little bit more. It's the only difference between these two characters as well, and it just makes them pop. It's just amazing. Finally, these are not my smallest engines. These are very small tank engines, and I'm very amazed at how squished I was able to make these, but these aren't my smallest models. That honour goes to Lady. But this is a very close second, and I think there's no doubt that these two look better than Lady anyways. So, thank you all ever so much for watching. Consider joining my Discord server to chat with like-minded fans of LEGO trains and Nerf blasters. Consider following me on Flickr and on Instagram for behind-the-scenes actions and some sneak peeks at current and future projects. Keep an eye out on the community tab for polls and updates. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.